Welcome back, Patriots. We are back on our Liberty or Death playthrough as the Americans trying to win our independence. And we are in September 1775, about to go into our first session with Congress since this revolution started. It will be interesting to see what they think of our situation here up in the north, as we were not able to take Boston. We have allowed a lot of growth to come out of there, but we had a huge win last time against the British in Albany. Now, after that last episode, it was suggested on the last one, and I think I do like adding a house rule. So along with the house rules of no joint attack, which I'm going to stick with, and only capturing the first commander offered to me after a battle, I am going to instill to make it more challenging, since we do have so many great artillery commanders. I'm only going to allow myself one artillery unit per battle if they have a cannon. If they don't have a cannon, then they're worthless. So like last time, Knox and Willett just destroyed and decimated the armies coming at them. So I think that could add that extra challenge. I'm interested to see if I can actually do it with that. So we're going to see how that goes. And if all goes well with that, we'll still be able to pull this thing out. But we got to keep Congress happy. So this consolidation that I'm doing could work out for me, but it could be an absolute disaster if we cannot keep Congress happy. So that's going to be the question here. Can we do it? And we need to do that. We're going to need to expand. We're going to need to take Long Island. We're going to take New Jersey. We got to take all these places, but it's going to be tough because we know they've broken out all over the place. Now, this is one that intrigues me. Ticonderoga being low on defenses, especially given the troops we could send out. But the problem is Alexander and Montgomery are the only ones that are trained, and Alexander doesn't have any men left. So we are not going to be able to do that attack, even though we know we weakened them. They apparently didn't bring any money with them because we only have 29 gold. So we are going to have to reform Alexander, unfortunately. We will keep the rest. The rest are serviceable in their numbers. But Alexander's going to be gone probably, December. Not as long as the British, because they do not need to sail away and sail back. So that is the one good thing if we do the reform in this playthrough, as opposed to my British playthrough, we will not have to wait quite as long to get those units back. 3 months is still quite a wait, but it'll be worth it since we have very little as far as money goes. Lots of rations there now. But poor David Mason, we don't really care about him. We're just leaving him behind because he doesn't matter to us as much. But this is a key thing down here in the South. I bring these two commanders in, Lawrence and McIntosh, because I need Lawrence down here so he can recruit. The one we definitely want to get is Francis Marion. Unfortunately, we're probably... Actually, how much money can we spend? You know what? We're going to spend 40 to get him right off the bat. I usually promote Lawrence in the first go-through, so he'll become a general and can then furlough and recruit Marion if need be. But with Charlestown bordering the enemy there, I think it'd be best to just go ahead and... Actually, we're going to recruit Pickens as well. Recruiting these guys, and then if we can somehow get down there and just kind of consolidate these forces, we would be in a very strong position. So I might consolidate these soon in Charlestown. So we got Pickens. Can they both move? So let me explain my reasoning here. My reasoning would be get in Charlestown. They did not put their forces up or down here in the South. So they have the original 4 units and they're spread out. They aren't packed in. We could make a move. Unfortunately, we'll wait and do that on the next go. Because we could make a run at Florida early on, at least wiping out those forces. All right, let's get Moultrie on our side. So we'll have 5 regiments down here in the South. Quite a bit of money as well. We could make a run and then capture these guys as we go. but we got to drill them a little bit first. Marion is outstanding. The Swamp Fox is what he was known as in real life. If you've seen Mel Gibson's The Patriot, the Swamp Fox, his character was based kind of loosely after Daniel Morgan, Francis Marion, and Thomas Sumter. So we will have two of those guys with us at the moment. But we are going to hopefully get these forces up and running. And they will hopefully put their reinforcements in the north again, where we have our stronger forces, which will allow us to do some damage in the south, especially if more Carolina regiments show up that we can recruit. All right. Speaking of recruiting, is St. Clair next to anybody that can be picked up? Anthony Wayne, he is. Mad Anthony Wayne. These two together are a good tandem. All right, let's see here. Part of me wants to move him to Philadelphia, but I might move Wayne there instead. If we can cut Philadelphia, Monmouth, and Baltimore, 32, 27, and 23, if we can take all those places, they don't have anywhere that they can land their troops for reinforcements, and that would shift them a little bit. So we're going to move into Philadelphia. We get access to those other units to potentially recruit them. And it protects the capital from an invasion right off the bat. Because I'm not too worried about the militia units that they have there. I don't believe the British have very strong militia units in the central. At least nothing that Mad Anthony can't handle. Especially because we have Thompson and Washington nearby. Their goal, their department, Thompson and Washington are going to be in charge of the central. Montgomery and Gates and Morgan and all those guys are going to be for the north. Okay, we got quite a bit of foreign aid. Money, rations, powder, and arms. That's fantastic. All right, one promotion. I mean, Knox deserves it, but we're going to probably go with someone loyalty. Ethan Allen at 59. Benedict Arnold's at 50. Aaron Burr's at 41. We're going to go with Burr. Get him up to major. And we have a decent amount of money. All right. We can't get any more in the south. Lawrence and McIntosh are the only ones. We could get some in the central to try to consolidate, but there's a lot of militia units down there. If we can get old General George down there, we'll be okay. So for this one, we're going to get our one regiment in the north. And since we cannot do joint attack, we're going to try command of the sea, and we're going to try to control the... I don't know. They could transport, so let's try to control the northern. We only have like one ship, so it doesn't really matter. We're going to do 1,800. Maybe that'll make their morale a little bit and their loyalty up a little bit more. We do need to still keep the Navy on our side, so we are going to contribute to the First Fleet. Not as much as I would if I were doing joint attack, but because we need this money for... We'll leave a little bit, but we need this money for the regiments. All right, let's see how things go for us on this. Of course, they only have 3 colonies on the sea up north. Well, no, Canada, all along the St. Lawrence River is as well. But we need to get Washington Thompson down into the central, try to consolidate that, and then work our way to the south. But this southern one, I don't know. Part of me wants to just, maybe we should retreat up to North Carolina and occupy all of North Carolina and get those regiments up there. That might be the smarter way. Speaking of smart, DeKalb. This man is another amazing artillery officer. Between him and Kosciuszko and Knox and Willett, and then Duportail, who isn't around yet. He's going to be fantastic. Oh, look at that. We're expanding North Carolina. I think that's going to be where we go. We will move north, let them spread themselves further thin in the south, and get ourselves ready to go. So with that being said, with our strategy figured out. I'm going to jump ahead here until we get to either another region where something important is about to go down or a battle happens. All right, nothing happened in that first turn of October. So we are getting ready to see some new regiments arriving, and they are militia units in the central, which is right where we could use them. Richard Butler is really good. So is Dickinson. Both are excellent militia units. Zebulon Butler, not so much. Dickinson's fantastic. Butler is solid because of that discipline and leadership. Morale's all decent. What's their loyalty at? It's going to take some work. I do think after looking at, we were able to recruit Varnum with Nathaniel Greene, and now having Greene there, I think Greene is going to move with Thompson and Washington because we have Varnum up there, and I think Varnum is definitely going to be good enough to where he can go up to the north. We got Ward and Putnam and all those guys. We have a nice wall there at Albany, Bennington, and Portsmouth, so I'm not overly concerned with them. So now the question, if we can move Greene to be with Thompson and Washington, that helps us have more of a force in the central in case they bring units to the central on this go around in this term. Now, one nice thing here is we did send a lot of money up here with Aaron Burr. So we are going to be able to recruit. Actually, you know what? We're not going to recruit. Not for 13 men. We're going to buy arms, and then we're going to send this money over to Bennington so that way they can then buy arms as well. Whew, that's expensive. But this makes our force a fine fighting force. We are going to drill Cadwallader, though. He is the weakest of them. Ward next turn can ship supplies and money over to Bennington, where Gates can then buy his men some arms. So this is where with Nathaniel Greene, we were able to recruit Varnum last time, move him up to Boston. So we're going to move Greene over to New London and get him to recruit whoever is over here. I forgot who it is. And leave his brother Christopher Greene behind at home in Rhode Island, where I rarely move him from the entire war. He's usually just here the whole time doing parades and disappointing me because he never gets the support that we need. Okay, let's see if anybody's out there that General George can recruit. Knowlton's getting closer. We're going to wait one more turn and see if that goes next time. We just sent Boyd on to train or on furlough, so we don't have anything going on there. Albany, we had to put Arnold on furlough. Ugh, Ticonderoga is enticing. But the problem is Montgomery is not as ready to fight, and we don't want him to get killed like he did in real life. So we will train these two. We'll wait for Willett. 77 and 86. Okay, that's good. And we're going to just sit. Actually, no, we're going to draft here. With the money we have, we'll have more money coming in eventually. Let's see what we have. 128. And then we have enough money to still get a few arms, but we'll wait till that money works its way over. Or next turn, we'll see what we can get with 81, but I'd rather wait a little bit. Same with Gates here. We can use some of that money that's working its way over from Portsmouth, so we're going to train. Oh, goodness. This one is just going to be a rock if they try to attack Bennington. I hope they do. But we decimated their army so much, it's going to take probably until mid-November before they get all their troops. But here's Varnum. He can send up more money to Portsmouth with him if he's able to. There we go. We don't need anything there or there, but we will take all the money with him. And now we have 3 solid places that they will probably not be able to attack and break through, which is why we have to be careful for any coastal raids that they might try to do. All right. Let's see. I did move into Philadelphia with Wayne. We are going to try to take some... Oh, look at that. They're making moves. Dickinson moved into Richmond and is already going after North Carolina. If he could get that, that would help us. McLeod's in prison, so we did take it. That means in the south, we just need... Oh, that is really good news. And the fact they imprisoned him for us, even better. Okay, nothing's going to happen with Wyoming. Probably nothing with Philadelphia either, because neither of these units are trained well enough to be doing any attacks yet. But they will be ready whenever we get a chance. Maxwell's here as well. They did move somebody into this a regiment into Philadelphia, so that's nice and consolidated. Now they're trying to surround us down here, but we are going to, again, consolidate in Georgetown this turn. And then start training, because I don't think, unless they land their reinforcements in the south, they will not be able to dislodge us with what they have. Their units are not strong enough to beat Lawrence, McIntosh, and Marion. So we're going to consolidate those. We have the money then to buy arms for all of them. And these 5 can go into North Carolina, not just take North Carolina, but then also recruit those units in North Carolina to allow us to then expand southward. Or actually, we might just abandon the south potentially if we don't have the units. All right, we get more sympathetic aid coming in. Do we get any new units? Von Steuben. So this is the guy who trained up Washington's army in real life. The Prussian, he said he was a general. Turns out I don't think he was when he first came over, but Washington didn't care because he got his men ready to go. And we do get new regiments. They're coming with Washington, so I think it should be Lafayette and Kosciuszko. But the problem is Kosciuszko does not have a cannon. That's disappointing, but man, we are ready to go. So the Central Army is consolidating. Washington, Thompson, Greene will lead that one. And then we are taking Virginia. Good deal. Okay, so again, I will jump ahead here and get us to a point where something's happening. Okay, Montgomery's getting itchy for a fight. Not only has he been asking to go after Ticonderoga, now he's asking to go after Fort Stanwix, which is where I would rather go after anyways. So we're going to see about doing so, because we've got Allen, Willett, and Montgomery all ready to go after him. We're going to see if we can pull this thing off. We're not going to have reinforcements is my only concern, but they won't either because, again, we decimated their forces. With Willett, I'm hoping, if nothing else, we can bombard them to get rid of them and to show a little bit of aggression, so hopefully the Continental Congress is happy with us. We'll put Allen down here, and we'll get Willett here. Who do they have? Okay, so they have 2. Ferguson. He's not trained, which is good. If he comes out of that fort, he's more dangerous. Walter Butler, not a problem. We will keep Ferguson if we can capture him. Walter Butler, as always, will get away, even though he'll come back in New York. We can afford that. So Ferguson, if he plays it stupid and stays in the fort, then he's in trouble because he loses his ability to charge. If he's smart, he'll come out of that fort. But usually they get defensive. Now, actually, if he's smart, he'll retreat right now because it's not going to be something he wins even if he comes out of that fort. But we can work our way up with Willett, and Willett can blast him out if he won't. We will be right on top of him very soon. Is he coming out? Oh, he did. Oh. Well, that's not what we wanted. But now we can fall back into the fort, into the trees, set up for an ambush, get in the fort ourselves, and hopefully he comes back up and gets ambushed at night. And he does. That's what we wanted. He cannot charge in the forest either, so we can just let him sit there. And we can work our way towards Mr. Butler up here, while keeping an eye on Ferguson with Allen. It is nighttime, so we will attack. Because again, guerrillas do better at night. And that is excellent. Not sure we're going to capture him, though. But again, he's going to be too weak to actually do anything. We are not going to attack with Montgomery at the moment. I'd rather save his troops when we can just bombard with Willett instead. Probably didn't need to do that attack. They have lots of powder that we're going to capture, which is good news. Unfortunately, we do not capture Ferguson. Time to blast away at Walter Butler yet again. We meet, sir. Willett will make short work of him. He should retreat fairly soon, I would imagine. Unless he wants to give us some ransom money again. Not that I would object to that, because I'd really like to have some more. Help us build our forces up. We aren't going to move in there because, again, that would be foolhardy of us when we have Willett right there that can do the dirty work. We don't want to gain by hurt that doesn't need to be hurt. And we're going to get plenty of powder reloaded when we win this battle. Will he stay another night? He's going to be below 150. Let's see if he stays. Okay, since he's staying, I will jump ahead. And he gets away. Not a problem. Good victory for us. It gets us a little bit more in New York that way. New York's huge, though. There's still 4 territories we need to take. We are going to do military drills with Christopher Green. I like to have him up at least into the 50s in case they do launch a naval invasion somewhere. We can at least have him somewhat ready to fight. And then after that, he just does parades. That's going to be his job. Gates, he's going to be drilling. This force is going to be a strong fighting force. Once they all get up to 100, then they can do their parades to get Bennington's support up very quickly. But I'm going to max these guys out as possible. William Washington is already maxed at 100 training. They all have great reputation too. So a parade over several of these guys will do a huge boost. Oh, wow. He doesn't get any. They didn't like his horses. Shocking. All right, let's buy arms. Varnum needs them, so he'll buy them, and then we will send the money over to Bennington. We do have enough money around White Plains to build a cannon for Kosciuszko. We just have to get it distributed correctly. But we can continue to move this money along, which is very nice. And we will let Putnam send the supplies along. Building up a good solid wall here for them, because they have Clinton, they have Howe, they have Carleton. They've got all the Hessian soldiers because we didn't get to capture anybody else due to our limits there. So they have a lot of men sitting around up there that can do some damage to us. We are going to do a parade in Boston because if I remember right, Nathaniel Hale is, yeah, he's already in the 50s. So we'll see if we can get any boost to our support in Massachusetts. He does not. Now, the support usually does go up naturally after every quarter. So we don't have to worry a lot about these places they're at, but it would help us tremendously if we can boost these to increase our average to keep Congress happy with us. But nobody is getting swayed by our marches at the moment. And yes, I know everybody is not supporting the cause at the moment. Okay, so let's take a look at our troops. We are not in a position to fight yet. We get these 3 guys up into the 80s, we'll be good to go. We just have to get them there. Their arms are already really quite nice, being in the 70s. Oh yeah, one more training round actually, and I think they'll be good to go. All right, so let's see what happens. More foreign aid. Give us some new regiments. Give us our New York. We get White Plains getting more. Volunteers. DeKalb and von Steuben both already in action. No cannon for DeKalb. His loyalty's not the greatest either. We might furlough him right off the bat. We do not want to have to worry about that. We furlough him for 3 turns. He's going to be nice. We can't use him and Kosciuszko together anyways, according to our rules. So with that being said, since we're not ready for a fight here yet either, we will jump ahead until we get some action. Well, we have a counterattack happening. Ticonderoga is coming after Albany again. That must mean they just got their reinforcements. So we're going to take a look at Bennington first off, see who we can send from here. And we will be sending Thomas Washington, Knox, and Tillman, because they have the money there already that they can draft and refit if need be. We cannot send Willett, so let's take a look at White Plains. I don't know if these guys are ready yet. Lafayette, von Steuben, and Lee are not at the strongest. We would have Allen, but they have the numbers. And I think all said and done, we're going to be strong enough. This is another one that if we can blunt their initial thrust, they must have just got their reinforcements. If they're hitting us with most of those, we can weaken them. Oh, they didn't get a lot of reinforcements at all. Who do they have? They do have Henry Clinton, though. And Simon Fraser. William Tryon is not the best. Carl von Donop and Nisbet Balfour, both. Okay. So these are the 2 we have to beat. We are going to get the guerrilla here. Arnold. Megs. We could do it here, but I'd rather them come around this way so we have a little bit more of a chance to do. Oh, I forgot who this was. It's not Knox. Okay. Thomas. Knox needs to be backing them up with Tillman coming in. And then we've got our guys who are going to take forever to get there, but might be of service in hitting the trailing group. This is where we get to test our mettle. Clinton and Fraser are going to be a problem for us. And actually, with Clinton moving over this way, we're going to go try to take him out with Morgan. We are going to go... Oh, I shouldn't... Yeah. Should not have given them the hillside. That was probably a mistake. We're going to leave Tillman one behind in case we need to move back. These guys are going to be able to get over there about as quickly as their main strike force. So we'll be able to surround their main strike force. It's their reinforcements that are the concern. And because Thomas's reinforcement, they did not send Fraser to go deal with them. Morgan will get to ambush next time. And we get to get Knox in on the action right off the bat. Taking a shot at Fraser. There we go. 93. We're going to keep Washington in the shadows for now. Continue to move these forces up. All right. What will Clinton do? He's going to attack. I was hoping he wouldn't, and we could hit him at night. I guess that was too wishful. We will fall back, though. Maybe he'll decide to slide back in. And we can move Thomas up here to take a shot at Tryon. Oh. If we move Knox, he's going to come hit Knox. So we're going to wait, see where he moves. I'd rather not get Knox battered. We can use him against Clinton after we get rid of Tryon. Because Thomas can take Tryon 1-to-1, especially on a hillside. Okay, he did move over to go after Morgan again, and it's at night. That is the attack we needed. Yep, there's Tryon. Trying to get up that hill. So we're going to move over. And if he wants to stay there, Knox will have a field day once daylight comes. And Tryon's going to want to flee. Okay, we can move Morgan back 1. I don't want him to get too beat up here. Ooh. Schuyler's not ready for what Clinton's going to bring. Meggs isn't ready for it either, to move him out. At the moment, ooh. Well, Meggs is... We'll see. Clinton's going to win this fight, I think, but we weaken him quite a bit with Morgan. Okay, that's good. Here comes Fraser. He's more of a concern with double the attack. That's good news for us up here. We also have the ability with William Washington to start circling around, and he'll be able to launch some charges. Part of me wants to move Morgan back to attack Clinton, but then daybreak's going to happen, and he will be able to decimate Morgan since there will be no camouflage. Win this one, Schuyler. Okay, good news. Might move Meggs out to try to provide some support. Thomas is doing his thing up there quite nicely. It's long nights up here in the winter now. We do have 9. I don't know. Oh, nope, we don't want to do it yet. We are going to move Meggs out so we can get double the attack and potentially capture Clinton a little bit easier this way. Relieve Schuyler some, and then Washington is going to come around this way just to make sure Clinton doesn't turn around if he ends up in the trees. With him being reinforcements, I don't know that he would, but now we've weakened Fraser a bit. Tryon's in trouble. We can go after with Meg's support again. Schuyler can take his shots. We could move Arnold out, but I like keeping one unit in full force here. Oh, we can set up some ambushes on those guys. They do not get the support this time. And Tryon's captured. He will be released no matter what the end result is. We don't need him. Militia, I'm going to release every time because once we capture their state, we don't have to worry about them coming back anyways. So there's no reason to keep them. They don't have any amazing one that strikes a lot of fear into us like Francis Marion would in our British campaign that we did. Morgan's able to set up his attack. We're going to go ahead and move Lafayette over. We can hit them in the shallows if they decide to make their move over. Clinton might retreat on this go. And he got away, unfortunately. Okay. Morgan's ready for the ambush. Is that Balfour? It is. He's their better one as well. We're going to move Meggs up. We are going to get Washington over this way so he can be ready to ambush as well. And then we got our... Knox is going to be able to definitely help get rid of those. We will fall back and do how we did last time defending Albany. Pull back to the fort in the village. Oh, wow. 106. That was far better than I expected. Let's move him back to the forest. Forget Washington. get Megs back into the village. Thomas moving into support. Knox as well. Tillman as well. We are going to just position... Let him get over there a little bit farther. Keep Lafayette and those guys healthy. All right, Thomas is ready. Knox is here. Balfour's about to walk into a night ambush this time. Should be another 70 or 80. Oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely. All right, we're going to move Washington so Morgan can fall back up there because we want these guys to come into the forts so we can blast away at them. All right, Lafayette. He's on that hill. We don't want to attack him. We're just following along so we can close the trap when the time comes. He's probably still on the hill. Yep. His movement is not that great. So patience will be needed. Now, one thing I can do here, in the hopes that he will shift northward, we can put Washington there. Excellent. Megs can finish him off. That should be it. He might stay around for one more turn, but I don't think he's going to be around much longer after that. Schuyler, well done on holding the fence. So General Schuyler was in charge of the Northern Department in the war. And under him were Gates. But he got a bad rap. They thought he was like too timid, and then he was like giving up too much land. But what was he going to do against Carleton? And it actually, Arnold was able to stall Carleton coming down from Canada when they launched the counterattack, so it worked out. But Schuyler, his family had tons of land and money. We will not release Balfour. And Tryon, we have to, because of our rules, where we can only capture the first guy that shows up. And that's a big win for us as well. That is one I will gladly take. Makes me think they're still waiting on their big reinforcements to arrive. Let's see if Green can recruit who we have here. He can't recruit Ledyard, who's with him, but he can go ahead and recruit Knowlton. Anytime they're up above 80 loyalty, it seems to be you don't have to offer any money. That's always my goal, to get them up there, to not have to give them money unless it's somewhere essential that we need to get right away. All right, let's do our draft and then our buying the arms. Who will not need... Knox will not need any training. I don't know if we'll have enough money to cover all the weapons or not. We could build a cannon. 874. Woo. Let's do 500. That leaves money for elsewhere. We will start with Thomas. 200 for him. 200. Oh. 50. That's not bad. 100 for him. We might go back and give Washington some more. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what we can do here. And then we'll give 20 to Knox. These are all good numbers. I'm happy with those. Anytime you have 75 and above, you're in good shape. And now we can already train some of those. Hopefully get their training levels back up. They didn't take much of a hit. Thomas and Washington are still in the 60s. And now he's back up into the 80s. A force to be reckoned with. All right, Thompson is ready to go once we get everybody trained. Well, actually, I think we wait. These guys are all good. Next turn, Sullivan's going to be able to come with them. So we're going to wait on that one and go after Long Island on December 1st. So let's jump ahead to the next event, which might be that. All right, December has arrived, and new regiments have as well. Bennington's getting somebody. And in the South, we've got more showing up in North Carolina, which the militia has taken over the whole state outside of the one. James Ewing is our new New York regiment. Oh, he's rough. His loyalty's good, and actually the loyalty of the two militia units is fairly good as well, even though they're both not good either. All three of those units are good garrison units. So that means we can actually attack with Bennington when the time comes and just leave Ewing behind, no problem. Wilmington is low on defenses. All right, Marion, if you can take everybody with you, we'll go, but you can't. It's got to be all of you or nothing. So we'll go next time in the South as well. That'll be just in time before Congress meets again. We'll be able to knock out North Carolina unless, oh my goodness, the militia, they're already into Georgia. Beautiful. But we're moving everybody. We're keeping that army together. And as we get new militia units and stuff, we can then spread out from there. Wayne and St. Clair are getting a little bit better. But we are getting ready for that attack that we're going to see on Long Island with Thompson getting into the game. So we're going to stay here until that attack happens and go through that battle. Hopefully, it's not a different battle we see where they come with masses of men. Even though we're well trained, every time we take over somewhere, we get a little bit spread out. So we don't want that to happen to us. We're going to train, make sure our men are as strong as possible. The money's coming over from Bennington this turn, so that's going to help them rebuild a little bit. Speaking of Bennington, let's send some of that money over to Albany. We're going to let Ewing do it because I don't think much of him, and I want to use the other guys for training and for parades. So Ewing, go ahead. That's going to be your best job. And now let's get the training done, get them up as best as we can. We do have something. Knox is almost to 100, and once he's at 100, he's going to be amazing. Not that he isn't already. 84 and 100 for Washington and Knox. That is a dynamic duo for sure. All right, Nathaniel Green, let's see. Again, we're trying to recruit so we can get him out of here, but Ledyard is not ready yet. So we will use this opportunity to not do anything. We got Christopher Green here ready to do his parade potentially. Yep. So this will be the first of many failures for Christopher Green with that reputation of 36. The only way he's going to get that up since he's not seeing battle is if we promote him to colonel. And I don't see that happening anytime too soon. I do like to do merit-based. Oh, Berlin, he wants to attack. Oh, I like the aggression, but we don't want to overextend too soon. Our focus right now is to get these guys trained better and then go into the central while we hold this northern line and hopefully keep locked down the central before anything arrives there. Because our best forces are all up here anyways, we might as well keep them up here. Okay, we're going to go launch a fight against Long Island. I don't remember the terrain. I hope it's one that we can win. We'll take 2,000. We will take 3. We're not going to take any money in case this is a total disaster. The money will still remain. Long Island can retreat to Monmouth. So hopefully we scare them, if nothing else, into doing so. We'll send Boyd over there as well. Kosciuszko's going just for show. He can paint sticks and make them look like cannon, and they'll maybe run away. All right, here we go. Long Island. Okay, it is stuff we can get to as long as they don't have a boat. Not going to worry too much about how we set up here, other than Kosciuszko will be back there. Oh, and he's doing us a favor. Fanning is by just sitting there. He's going to retreat probably right away. He's actually not too bad. Do we have any boats? Okay, Glover and the Marbleheaders do, which is fitting because he's the guy who ferried them across the Delaware River. His Marbleheaders. We're going to move in, see if we can capture him. He's militia, so we will release him, but if we can capture him, at least removes him from play for a little bit. We are going to have to launch attacks. We are going to do so with Thompson, though, and Glover, and these guys, because these guys are not going to have as much fighting. Actually, yeah, we'll just do the first volley will be with Thompson. We will get Glover down here. He'll be able to surround him further. Actually, you know what? Maybe we just move Boyd. Boyd's not all that great. We could just let Boyd take the first shot at night, but we'll do that. It's nighttime. He's not very good, but he is guerrilla. Not good. Okay, we'll move him back. Let Thompson do the rest. But now it's a weaker unit, so Thompson won't take as many casualties. There we go. 100. Let's see if we can't just wrap around and finish him off. Von Steuben, your turn, sir. And then we get Lafayette. Ooh, that was not as good. This is where if Kosciuszko had a cannon, we would have just bombarded him and saved our troops. That might be enough to get him. Yep. And we're going to get some ransom money for him. And we're going to be able to send the other money that was left behind over to White Plains eventually to get a cannon for DeKalb or Kosciuszko. All right, so we release him. And on that note, it is time for us to wrap this episode up here. So we will do so. And this was a lot of progress made. We are in good shape as long as we can hold that northern line. If expanding to the central with Thompson and Washington could prove very beneficial to us if we can lock down those coastal spots really quick and recruit that militia to be garrisons. That would be huge because usually I have to shift all my troops down to the south. So we'll see how that goes. I want to thank you all for turning back in on this trip of Liberty or Death. It's been, it is a lot of fun revisiting this game. Thank you all for checking it out as well. And with that being said, until the next episode, take care and have yourselves an amazing day.